Christian education in Russia and Venezuela, and urban mission in New York City. All this and much more coming up next. Hello and welcome to Mission 360. I'm Gary Krause. Today's program is coming to you from New York City, the most populated city in the United States. Some more than 8 million people living here, and of course in Greater New York a lot more people. It's part of what they call the Boss Wash corridor, stretching from Boston through New York, down through Philadelphia and into Washington, D.C., a huge megalopolis. And today's program, we're going to look at mission right here in this city. We're going to travel to Venezuela. We're going to talk about mission around the world. But first up, let's travel to Russia.
Come with us to Russia and discover how an Adventist school is changing the lives of youth. Masha was discouraged, and the future seemed dreary. This broke her mom's heart, and she had an idea. She asked Masha if she'd like to attend Zaoksky Christian School, a Seventh-day Adventist day and boarding school. Masha wanted a new start with new people, so she said yes, but she was still lonely at her new school. She didn't know how to make friends. But then some of her classmates reached out to her, and one student told her how she could have a personal relationship with Jesus. Finding a quiet place, Masha poured out her heart to God. From that moment on, Masha's life hasn't been the same. She now has a savior and friend that she can trust. Zaoksky Christian School has been operating in Russia since 1993, and many students have been blessed by Adventist education.
There are many advantages. The food is good here. The second plus is that the teachers here are all happy. They treat their students well.
But most importantly, many students come to know Jesus as their Savior, just like Masha did.
I've worked in the elementary school with the preschoolers and see how the little children who haven't even heard about God come to us after hearing about Him and are very happy. Their eyes shine when they begin to believe that God helps them with all of their difficulties in everything that they do.
When the school began, there were only 4 teachers and a few students. The school used classrooms on the campus of Zaoksky Adventist University.
The number of students gradually grew, and today we have 200 students. In fact, we don't do any advertising at school or in the village. People talk about our school themselves. The school has a good reputation, good reviews from parents and children who graduated from our school.
Zaoksky Christian School's popularity has created a new challenge: space.
Since we can't accept more children, they can't receive a Christian education. Therefore, we need a new building for the elementary school.
Thank you for your generous support of Adventist education in Russia. It's changing the lives of children like Masha.
I'm on the campus of Columbia University in New York City, and my guest is Alex Espana, who is the Associate Dean here at the university, but you're also an elder at the Church of the Advent Hope.
That's right.
On the other side of Central Park.
That's right, Upper East Side of Manhattan.
Yeah.
That's right.
Now, I understand that a new initiative has started for ministry on public campuses here in New York.
Right.
What's the idea?
Right. Well, we had a dream a long time ago to kind of support the Adventist students that go to public universities here in New York. And so we got a collection of some leaders from Advent Hope, Nick Zork and Todd Stout and others, and we put together a proposal and to submit for a grant to the General Conference, actually, to the Global Missions, and to come up with a way where we could find somebody who could serve as a chaplain to the Adventist students, again, in New York City, not only here at Columbia, but at all the institutions here in New York, including NYU, Hunter, Juilliard. And so we submitted the proposal, it was approved, and now we have somebody in place that's going to help support our students here in New York.
Wonderful. So part of the proposal is to support the students who are coming through, because they're often at danger of just drifting away and never even entering a church nearby. Right. Another goal is to start new groups of believers. Is that true?
That's right. One of the things I think you can look at New York and campuses in general is almost like a different kind of mission field, right? And so we already know we have young people on campuses that are, spiritually searching and asking the right questions, the tough questions. And I think that in order for us to be able to connect with them, we have to have a presence. And so that is really the idea, is to have a presence on these campuses where we can actually start formulating not only Bible study groups, but even small groups and maybe church plants if things get going really well. So we're excited about being able to be an added kind of support layer for these students who are searching.
Wonderful. Now, I'm conscious of the fact that Columbia University is one of those Ivy League institutions that actually began as a Christian institution.
That's right.
And in fact, this is like the religious life building. So,
That's right. And we have Union Theological Seminary right across the street.
That's true.
Right.
So there's total freedom to operate on campus. What sort of restrictions are there on an Adventist chaplain working here?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So one of the reasons why we were adamant about trying to get a chaplain is that that's the only way a group can be officially recognized on campus. So in order to be officially recognized, you have to have a presence, right? And what that means is that you have to have either a student organization on campus, which we do, but you also need an official chaplain. And although we had different various student groups throughout the years, we did not really get a chaplain until a couple years ago, and Andrea Stewart, who so happened to be doing an internship here in the chaplain's office, and she helped support our students, but then she moved on, and so we were able to then as you know, get Stephen Eric to come on board, and he's now been officially recognized by the university as the campus chaplain, and will be able to, again, connect with students in an official manner, which was not something that we were able to do before.
Right. Now, Alex, you've lived in New York City for many years. How many years?
20 years.
So
20 years.
It's my belief that ministry in urban areas is a totally different thing to ministry in a rural area. I mean, obviously we have the same good news, the same beliefs we want to share, but it's a whole different game here, right?
Right. It's true. Listen, I think what you find in maybe in cities, and particularly in campuses, is that you're going to get a lot of tough questions. There's not going to be kind of like this kind of magic, well, it's that way because it is, and then people just move on to the next question. No, they students want to debate, to dialogue, to really flesh out beliefs, and why do you believe something, and why is that important? And so you definitely need to be a little more prepared when you're on a college campus for those tough questions,
right?
And understand that it's not that they're trying to get you in a gotcha moment or corner you necessarily, but they are asking like sincere questions for them that are like, listen, I've been wondering, what is your belief on this, and how is that relevant to today's life?
Yeah.
So,
and it seems to me that people in urban areas, they've seen everything, they've heard everything. They can check on Google, etc., etc. So they're looking for people who are real and authentic, and they're looking for relationships, not just head knowledge, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Authenticity matters.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's what people really are searching for. Even if you're from the rural areas or the cities, or if you're on campuses, people want to know that you're authentic, you're real, and that you're not trying to sell them something, but in fact, you're trying to share with them something, right? It's a completely different take. And we have found that when a student understands that you're being sincere and you're going to be there with them and for them, regardless of what they're going through in their spiritual journey, whether they're struggling with, different kinds of issues, that we're going to be there unconditionally for them, and that's what really matters.
Excellent. So, Alex, when you look to the future, what are your hopes? What would you like to see happen?
Sure. One of the things we'd love to see is an Adventist Christian Fellowship chapter on as many campuses in New York as possible, connecting students at both Columbia to NYU to Hunter to Juilliard, wherever we have students, and really being a safe space, a place for them to come and really explore their own spirituality and get connected to the church, and really be missionaries, if you will, to the students around them as well, which is kind of like an idea that we'd have. We'd also love to see these students connect with one another, not only across campuses, but across the country, right? So one of the things we'd love to see is mission trips out to different places where we can collect all the students and take them to a mission trip. So we definitely have a lot of different ideas in mind.
And they're great ideas, and thanks for what you're doing.
All right, thank you.
And friends at home, please pray for this initiative. What a tremendous opportunity. The public campuses in New York City, what a mission field. Welcome back to New York City, and more specifically to the huge urban park called Central Park. And according to one survey, there are some 471 species of wildlife in this park.
We're here in New York City talking with Maria Alvarez, who works with a conference ministry, which is sort of the regional office of the Seventh Adventist Church here in New York. But they're doing a unique ministry. You could say that it's providing showers of blessings to people. What exactly is the ministry that you're working with?
Oh, the showers of blessings, they are usually taken to different locations in the city, in which they have shelters, or they have what we call drop-in centers, or they have soup kitchens. And in those areas, we work together with those organizations, and then we bring the van to that locale, and then we provide showers to the homeless that are around that area.
So you have a van that has showers in it?
Yes, they have.
And then you take it around to people who are homeless who can have a shower. Now, is it called showers of blessings?
No,
Okay, I didn't think so.
Nice warm showers.
That's nice warm showers.
Very nice warm showers. There's about 3 in this particular. They have 3 stalls, and it's usually very nice. They're really nicely organized, and they're very nice. So they go there, and we put kind of the program together.
Now we're here in New York City. It's a very warm day, and I can appreciate what a shower would be like on a warm day or just any day. What kind of things do people say when they get a shower? I mean, is this something that, how often will people like this get a shower?
Well, there's a lot of them who really don't have the capacity to really even go. Sometimes their mental status is not well. So even though the city sometimes provide them with a place to go, but they don't have the capacity sometimes or the desire to go. But some of these organizations that we work with, they work very closely with them. So they have their friends. So once we bring the van there, they speak with them and they get them to kind of shower. And right after they shower, you could see that they shine. Their faces are really smiling. They really are very appreciative. When we go there here from the Manhattan Seventh-day Adventist Church, we go there, we provide them with clothing. We give them underwears, we provide them clean clothing. So besides just the shower itself, we provide them clean clothing. Some of them don't have clothing,
Right.
because of their situations. They're not able to really carry long bags, and they don't have a facility for them to wash their clothes. So receiving, besides the shower, but something clean to put on, is really such a blessing that we've offered.
And the beauty of a van is they don't have to come to you, you go to them.
Yes.
Where they are, to different places. Now, when people have a shower, I think some of us are spoiled. We're used to just going in, turning on hot and cold water. I've traveled in some countries where you go down the hall with a bucket, to get a shower. So, people think in New York City it's not an issue, but for the homeless, there really are no places for them to go and get that shower. So what do people say, some of the people say, when they thank you or whatever, what kind of stories do you hear from people?
Mostly they usually tend to ask, why are we doing this? Why? Why are you bringing this shower to us? What's the point? Some of them, they really try, are you going to try to evangelize me? And we said, no, we're here to just serve you. You have a need, and we want to serve you and to provide for your need. You know, whatever you need, we know you need this shower, and it's easy and convenient. You're just right here. You just come. There's nothing, no string attached. Right. We just want to tell you that we care for you. We know that the need is there, and we want to serve you and give you that blessing of having yourself a shower, especially in these hot days.
And that shower can just make you feel like a whole new person.
Yes, it's really amazing. You know, sometimes, like you said, you know, we take it for granted that we have showers and we just able to go whenever we feel hot. But sometimes these people, they can't, sometimes few days, weeks sometimes without having a shower. And then for them to go, they feel refreshed, they say. They feel like new. You know, they feel like their identity is back, you know?
Yes. Now you're working with other organizations as well. How do you connect with other organizations? How are they finding out about you, or how are you finding out about them? Or?
Well, some of them I know because my own background, I'm a nurse, so I work with the homeless, so I know some of those organizations. So usually what I do, I reach out to them and I tell them what we have, and that we're able to bring that to them so that they can provide that service. So the place that we go, they really don't have a shower in their facility. So really one of the members of the facility that we're working with, they were really very appreciative. They said, how come we serve them? We don't even have a place. We just give them food, but I know we need showers. And then one day I came to them and I said, do you know that we have a shower van? And they said, oh, wow. So they were really, really very happy. And then we bond together and we put the program together.
So where did the idea come from to have a shower van?
Well, I think that the shower van started with someone in the conference. I think his name is Walter. I forgot his last name, but I think he had a vision
for doing this.
And he and other members of the program at the conference level kind of put the van together and started going. But I think Walter, I forgot his last name.
Okay.
He's really into it, and he really liked it, and he thought that was a great idea.
Now, if somebody in another city, because there are big cities around the world, what advice would you give them if they wanted to start a shower van ministry?
Well, to me personally, I would just figure it out. Like, you need to work with the organizations who are already serving this population. You have to team up with them. They already know how they behave, how they are, what is their needs. I think a team approach is very important. You have to have a team approach. Because, you know, you might have the van and then you can just put it someplace, but sometimes you don't know how to deal with them, how do they react. But the other organizations are already doing this for many years, so they know how to deal with them. So I think a team approach is very important. You need to have an approach as a team to other people. You approach them, you tell them what you have, you ask them, how can we work together? We want to bring this as a service.
And I like what you said, find out what the needs are and then meet the needs, and then we can have a relationship with people where they can see Christ in us. I love that. That is wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. And viewers at home, there are amazing things happening as people reach out to people in their community, that people begin to see Jesus shine through our lives.
Welcome back to New York City. Next up, we travel to Venezuela to learn about learning a new language of love.
Something new and exciting was happening on campus at the Adventist University of Venezuela. Students and faculty from the theology department wanted to do something to have a lasting impact on the people around them. In 2016, they opened the Center of Languages, giving university students access to learning English, Portuguese, and French. Language skills were in high demand.
I had the privilege of seeing the birth of the Center of Languages and organizing the curricular contents of the courses that were taught. It was a great challenge, but with the support of my team of teachers, we were able to advance in fulfilling the mission.
This center of influence has since evolved and now opens its doors to the entire community, many of whom are not familiar with the Adventist message.
For a year, I taught English in the Center of Language. Afterward, I received the responsibility of coordinating the Center of Language. In 2019, we received a lot of students that were unbelievers. So we notice that and create some strategies for reach them and share with them about the gospel.
A center of influence is the most effective way to present the gospel to those who do not know Christ. It is an easy way to show to others the way through your lifestyle.
The courses include devotionals and spiritual discussions that have piqued the interest of some students.
One of the most excellent things about the course that Professor Anthony passed into us, the spiritual seeds that he sowed in each of our hearts.
It has helped me in my personal, social, and communicational development with other people, and the devotional helped me in my spiritual life.
I would describe the experience in the Center of Languages as an opportunity that it motivated me to keep learning English, and thanks to all the values that it gave me, I'm able to communicate in the language of English in the United States.
In 2020, despite the challenges caused by the pandemic, the Center of Influence continued teaching its classes online, attending 138 students, 16 of them non-Adventists. This Center of Influence will continue working to reach the unreached.
In UNAP,
we will go.
Do I take it opposite side? Yeah, exactly. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, and...
Tasted mercy, yet I linger to what's behind. I've seen you in my life, yet I keep the treasure inside. I'm ready to change my thinking, change my mind. Ready to make a difference in my life. And I will leave everything for you, my King. Sail across oceans wide, healing the broken lives. What I believe burns in me, my one desire. Until I reach the sky, you will engage my life. I'm starting right here at home. 'Cause wherever you call, I know I will go. I will go. No more will I feed my doubt. I am your hands and feet. I show them what you're about. I'm ready to change my thinking, change my mind. I'm ready to make a difference in my life. And I believe everything for you, my King. Sail across oceans wide, healing the broken light. What I believe, it burns in me, my one desire. Until I reach the sky, you will engage my life. Jesus, you can count on me, count on me, count on me. Jesus, you can count on me, count on me, count on me. Jesus, you can count on me, count on me, count on me. Yeah. I will leave everything for you, my King. Sail across oceans wide, healing the broken lives. What I believe, it burns in me, my one desire. Until I've reached the sky, you will engage my life. I'm starting right here at home. But wherever you call, I know I will go. I will go. I will go. I will go.
Well, that's about it for today's program, coming to you from New York City. And I hope that you've been inspired, and even more, I hope that you've been challenged by what you've seen and heard of mission around the world. As we've seen frontline workers, global mission pioneers, centers of influence, different ways that are putting Christ's method of ministry in holistic ways to make a difference in people's lives. And I want to thank you so much for your continuing support of mission, through your prayers, through your donations to Global Mission, and through your regular mission offerings. They do make a difference. Well, for Adventist Mission, I'm Gary Krause, and I hope that you can join me next time right here on Mission 360.